I was recently at a Farm Bureau conference, and the speaker told a joke that I think sums up actuaries quite well. You know you're an actuary when someone says, "What are the odds?" and you realize to yourself, "Yeah, I actually know that."
I am a born and bred Southerner. Born and raised in Georgia. I did get the opportunity to kind of live up north in Virginia for a little while. But most of the team is from the South. And I've been to offices in New York and on the West Coast, and it's a very different vibe. We are relaxed, but we're very serious about what we do. But there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of just good old Southern hospitality down here. We've never met a stranger.
We are in Columbia, South Carolina. That's where Guidewire is kept, the Predictive Analytics Center and the Predictive Analytics Office. So most of the service people are located here.
So here at Guidewire, we focus on predictive analytics, which means that instead of looking into past data, we look at the data that will go into the future. So whether or not a claim will be litigated, or whether or not a claim will have a dollar amount specifically attached to it of $100,000 or $75,000, we look at the information that we know as of today and give you a better estimate of what will actually occur.
We're learning from the history of that client's experience to help them better prepare for what the future is going to be with their business.
You can have people who are really good with statistics and can create algorithms to really find relationships. But at the end of the day, those are working on correlations, signal and noise. What we do is we help bring back a way to tie it to reality. We bring in the business considerations. We bring in all the technical abilities to understand what that statistics is doing to get something that can actually be implemented. And that's where a large portion of the challenge is on a day-to-day basis. Predictive analytics is really about the people behind it. We get to be the ones who decide how it gets used and where it gets used. So the smarter portion is really coming from us as the people with domain knowledge and expertise to apply that.
In terms of integrating with Guidewire, I think one of the things that's taken a little bit of time for us to get used to, and all candor is something we're still working on, is that just the nature of predictive analytics software that was developed as software as a service previously is a pretty different paradigm than InsureSuite. There's kind of no such thing as the out-of-the-box universal model. If you're talking about pricing, all carriers are going to have their own specific pricing methodologies, and any model that we build on top of that is almost inherently a residual on top of their current practices. So a residual model for customer A is not necessarily going to be applicable to customer B.
Today in the messaging around predictive analytics, we're not really selling predictive analytics per se. What we're selling is a smart core system, a core system that doesn't just have business rules embedded in it to manage the workflow, but has smart business rules based off of predictive analytics to help you manage your workflow. We're going to walk into a claims department and look at talk to the VP of claims, who doesn't know a thing about predictive analytics, but knows that they want that quality of information in their claims operation. And so we'll say, look, we'll sell you a solution pack, which is you're buying the end result. You're buying that great piece of information that's going to allow you to do more efficient operations in your claims department, and we'll do the work for you. So what you see on the screen with the predictive analytics software now becomes, in the context of a solution pack, something that we as services would use behind the scenes to build the model, get it in place, deploy it, build the screens out, and then, from a customer's perspective, they're just buying the answer, and they're not buying necessarily a tool that lets them do all the work. They're asking us to do the work. But regardless of whether it's claims modeling or profitability modeling, there's sort of a 4-step process that you have to go through. And we've got that here on the screen, and we've sort of organized our software around that. Data has to be extracted from some core system, and we usually are looking for several years of history of data, and that work happens actually before it gets to the predictive analytics software. But once you have that data gathered, then you go through this process where the first step is to build a predictive model. And what we mean by that is searching through the data, finding the patterns and relationships in the data that will allow you to predict the future. It's where all the statistics happens. It's where all the machine learning happens. It's in this build section. Once you have built a model, then there's often a need to communicate it to people who are not necessarily statistically minded, who are not technically or mathematically oriented people. And that's what the Analyze section is for. It's just a point-and-click environment where you can put the predictive model and let people have access to it and get to know what is it saying about their book, what does it imply about what's going to happen if they actually build a business process around this prediction. Then a very key step in what we do is the deployment. This is where we take the predictive model that was built in this environment and package it, wrap some business rules around it, and make it available back to the core system. And this is where the core system would pick up these predictions on a case-by-case basis, so that an adjuster or an underwriter in their workflow looking at a customer or a claim can then get a prediction for that customer or that claim and then decide what they want to do about it. Once you have a predictive model in place, these things do have a lifespan. They don't stay good forever, so you have to monitor it. And we have tools to monitor how that model is doing, what predictions it's making, and how well they're performing against what you expected. So these are sort of the 4 main activities, including prior to this getting data in, and then after this, doing that integration work so that there's a home for those predictions on the core screen. And a lot of work is going into that through our services team in conjunction with development as well.
My assignment for the moment is to build different predictive analytics solution packs for Claim Center and Policy Center, and try to integrate those different solutions from Guidewire predictive analytics to our insurance suite. Machine learning and predictive analytics is the future, so it is interesting to build our Guidewire insurance suite smarter. To have, for example, a smart claim center, there are different solution packs that we're currently working on. One of them is subrogation. We also have claim severity. We're working on litigation and segmentation solution packs. So having those different solutions into the claims system will make a claim center much smarter. For example, subrogation solution is going to tell adjusters, based on the data that we have currently for that claim, what is the expected probability for subrogation, and also how much we recommend to recover for subrogation. So one of the great benefits and things being part of the predictive analytics team is to work with different groups and different teams, like, for example, actuary team. So I can bring knowledge from the insurance suite and core system side, and then they bring and infuse the actuary knowledge, and we create together a solution and different models that are actually going to benefit our customers.
We're business people with a deep understanding of math, and that needs to be conveyed to business people or to math people. So we help bridge that gap and that understanding. One reason we're happy to be with Guidewire is historically we didn't have control over where the data came from and how we got access to it. With Guidewire, we have a really good fit for being able to access the data and help determine how that data gets put together. On the back end, we never had control over how a customer viewed that data in their workflow, what pops up on their screen, how it pops up on their screen. Is it a graph? Is it just a line of text? We're really excited that we get to be involved in that aspect to really tailor the process from beginning to end for our clients.
Really, from a data consultant perspective, what sets us apart as a specialty is that we can take any database, and within about 4 weeks, we're experts in that database.
It's a very important role because really the whole process of predictive analytics and the modeling and the integration does not start until we are able to create a modeled ready data set. So a data set that's ready for modeling, which eventually leads to what will be integrated within the core system.
We're saying send us your entire claims database, send us your entire policy center, send us these pieces of billing center.
And then what we do once we receive all of that data, we'll take a look at all of the entities out there, but our goal is really trying to build one single data set for a exposure or for the claim. So you can see how taking all of the information and trying to compress it down into one record takes a lot of experience, one, to get to that level.
And we have to learn all the interactions of all the tables, what values are important on all the tables, what values can be proxies for time, because we don't want that sort of stuff, what values have changed over time, how to normalize all of that data, and we do it quickly.
And many times that we're working with clients, talking through their pain points, their business issues, we realize, oh, you could use us for this use case or for that use case.
So predictive analytics isn't just the big three, the claim triage, pricing, and underwriting. It can have uses in almost every sector of an insurer's business and within almost every sector of insurance.
For you guys that are out there and in the field and working with our clients, think about how PA can help them. If you hear business problems that the client keeps referring to, we make it help.
Our former CEO at Eagle Eye, Wade Bontrager, he just wanted to celebrate any and all sales, so we had a gong in the office, still do, kind of shelved a little bit, but whenever we'd make a sale, the gong would ring and everyone would know, so it was one of the traditions we had.